You're listening to the Infatuasian podcast. You know, you might have noticed that we started to do some shows here and there where we talk with Asian guests, but the topic isn't necessarily Asian per se. But that's okay, right? I mean, if you haven't noticed, this podcast pretty much is just me talking about things that I like anyway. So today we're going to be talking about houseplants. Yeah, I mean, some houseplants are from Asia. And I think a lot of us know aunties or uncles who really love taking care of plants. I mean, I know my mom has had plants in the house as long as I can remember. So today we are talking to two Bay Area women, Natalie and Dom. They both own their own plant shops right here in the Bay Area. And you'll see that as they talk, and if you looked at their Instagram, you can see they both bring their culture as well as their families into all that they do at the shop. So I think it's going to be a real fun talk. And the last half of the show, they're going to give you some plant care tips. So even those of you who swear you have black thumbs, you might learn something. And hopefully you'll be inspired to have the courage to try to do houseplants in your house. For those of you who are a little more advanced, there may be some stuff for you to learn as well. So I hope you enjoy this show, and I hope you enjoy houseplants. And as usual, thanks for listening. Hey everyone, you are listening to the Infatuasian podcast. We hope everyone out there is in a warm, comfy place listening to us, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to have a fun show. I think we're going to talk about something that a lot of you might be into, even if it's just a little bit. We're going to be talking about houseplants, regular and exotic. We're going to talk about just how to take care of them, how to get into them, and just fun talk about houseplants. And so coming along on today's show, we have a couple entrepreneurs, plant lovers, and small business owners. We're going to be talking to two Asian creators who have their own shops. First of all, from Berkeley, California on Solano Avenue, we have Dom, who is the owner of Pamana Plants. Am I saying that right?
Pamana Plantas.
Pamana Plantas. Yeah. All right. So we have Dom. Welcome, Dom. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on the show. I don't really do this kind of thing because I get anxious, but I'm here. And plus, Natalie was here, so we're hyping each other up, and I'm comfortable with her. So
nothing to be nervous about. No, don't worry. We're gonna have fun. And so, real quick, what is your shop known for?
My shop is known, I want to say, for plants that are mostly common. I have a few rare plants, but nothing compared to our other guests over here. My mom, she imports and takes care of the rare plants, and then I'm more of the common stuff. I'm also known for like food and events and stuff. So yeah. You
guys just had a Halloween thing last night?
Wasn't last night, it was Sunday.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so for October, which is Filipino American History Month, we had Kamayan, where basically the shop was used as a dining room.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and we had our guests eat in the traditional Filipino form of eating, which is with our hands. Hence the name Kamayan. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you finding that your shop ends up being like a community gathering place for friends and family as well as just, customers?
Yeah, most definitely. Like earlier in the month, we had a little birthday party for my mom too. So it's definitely used as not just a place for shopping, but a place to gather, whether that's friends or just the community or family.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Also, coming to us from San Jose is Natalie, and she's the owner of The Plant Sitter over on Quimby Road in San Jose, California. Hey, Natalie, how's it going?
I'm awesome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And like Don was saying, your shop's a little different from other shops. You kind of specialize in rare and exotic plants?
We specialize in uncommon and rare houseplant. So we have a different variety of Adroy, and Anthurium. We do have some common houseplant as well.
Sure. Yeah.
We try to have a little bit of everything. It just, if you're looking for a certain rare plant that you might see online and you want to see in a person, we do have it in the store.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. Like, I think, I all I have are common plants, but it's pretty cool when you see something that you've never seen before. And
yeah, it's nice. And then I feel like when you start to collecting plant, eventually you're looking for more.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm the more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you start at Panos first.
Yeah. Yes.
And then you're kind of like, something else. Like, yeah, I have some. You can come here.
Yeah. So
you want party, you go to Panama.
Yeah. So swing by Berkeley, get some plants, and then when you're looking for something a little,
when you graduated from that level, you can come to our shop.
Yeah, very cool. And we should say that both of you are on Instagram, and you can see kind of the stuff that they do, and we'll give your handles a little later, but it's we'll write it out for you in the show notes. But it's plantsitter_California and Pamana Plantas.
Yes.
On Instagram, and we'll write that out for you because I know that might be a little tricky to listen to. But so let's get warmed up with a little plant trivia or fun facts. Don't worry, this will be easy. Well, I don't know. It's not meant to be easy, but don't worry if you get it wrong. It's just for fun. Don't worry. All right, you ready? I'm a science teacher, by the way, so this is kind of what I do for a living. So
okay,
we're gonna nerd out a little bit here. All right, I think you guys know this one. Do you know the most popular houseplant in North America based on Google searches?
Pothos
or Monstera deliciosa.
Oh man, that could be it too.
Yeah, it's the Monstera based on Google searches. But I think Natalie's right though. If you looked in most people's houses,
right,
they probably have a philodendron or a pothos or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I think there are some other top ones, but that's I think by and far the most popular, and it's a stunner, right? And they catches people's eye. Oh, right behind you, right there. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, that one. How old do you think that one is? Right behind you. It's about a 5-foot plant, or a.
No, it's not. It's like a 2.5 foot plant. It's just on a thing.
Okay. So that one is been around for a little while, yeah, because it's got
you can tell because it has like little holes.
Yeah.
In the splits. That happens when it's mature, right?
More
right.
Mature. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. All right. Next question. So you guys know what a Hoya is, right? It's a group of plants. Right. What was the Hoya plant named after? All right. A, it's named after a Chinese surname Hoi, which in Mandarin is shu, meaning to allow, to permit, or to promise. It's named after Thomas Hoy, a gardener in the 18th century to a English duke. Or it's the word hoy, which is a heavy barge that is used in shipping, and so that's where the ahoy comes from. What is the Hoya plant named after?
Oh man, is the first or second one? Which one?
The Chinese name or the English name?
I think B.
Going with the English name?
Gardener, the gardener.
Dom, you are 2 for 2. It is Thomas Hoy. He was a gardener for an English duke, and I guess he was the first guy to get that from overseas. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually they're always named after who discovered it.
Yeah. Okay.
Not ship,
Or Latin or Greek, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's that too.
All right. So here's the last one. This one's a little controversial. You may agree or disagree with this one. Can plants hear music?
Yes.
You're going yes? Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a study by UCSF, I think, and they played music to plants, but they actually played back, not music, they played recordings back to plants, and they played a recording of a caterpillar munching on a leaf at a certain vibration, and that plant was able to produce more kind of toxins. Whenever they heard that sound of the caterpillar munching, the plant started to produce more of that chemical that deters herbivores from chewing on it. So they think that plants can sense vibrations, and therefore music is vibrations. So yeah, so you should always have music for your plants.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Singing to your plants, talking to your plants, right? All of it helps.
All the energy.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Good vibe.
Mhm.
All right, you guys did well on that one. Not a surprise, but you both did well on that. Can we talk a little bit about your backgrounds? Natalie, how about your background, your origin story? Where did you grow up, and how did you get started in plants?
Well, I am from Bangkok, Thailand. I came here with my family when I was 18 years old. And then how did I get into plant is that it's funny, but it might relate it to a lot of people. So I started collecting plant back in 2016. There was one year, usually my husband would buy me flower every year, and I'll complain that it's expensive and it's already dead,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's wasting money, you know? Wasting money. So I told him, give me something else that, you know, it will stay alive, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So he came back with succulent. He gave me a succulent arrangement. I'm like, ooh, what's that? That's kind of cool. So I've been taking care of it. It was outside. And, you know, and I was like, it still stay alive. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And I told him, I like that. That's kind of cool. And then so after that, I've been collecting more different variety of succulent. They have so many variety. And after that, I get bored. I'm kind of like, okay, you know what else? And I get into houseplant. And then, so I've been collecting plant ever since. And from that on, it's kind of like, you know, you start to do something with plant. Like I always looking for something to do. So I make some succulent arrangement, and I was, you know, show it on my Facebook page, and people seeing it, and they're like, oh, that's kind of cool. Can I order some for my, you know, kids t-shirt, you know? So I'm like, okay, fine, I can make it. And people start to buying. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I make a little bit of money. But then after that, you know, pandemic happened. Yeah, so everything canceled.
Yeah, yeah. But we'll talk about your shop. You started your shop right in the middle of there, so.
Oh yes, we do. Right during pandemic. It's a good opportunity. I'm kind of like, nothing to do, staying at home.
That's true.
I don't want to give up. I was like, I still want to do it. I always in the back of my mind want to open shop. So we able to get this place. The rent is quite reasonable, and they really work with the term with us. So they want us to do 3-year term, and I talked them down to 1 year.
Oh wow!
I'm like, you know, I don't know if it's gonna work.
Yeah,
or not. I want to try.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We'll talk a little more specifics in a second, but let's find out about Dom. Dom, are you a East Bay girl, born and raised?
Yes, I am. I was born in Alameda and grew up in Fremont. And then I moved up to Union City, then San Leandro, and then I'm back in Union City now.
Yeah, okay.
So all over the place.
So I've seen a lot of stuff on your website that your shop is about family and about, you know, your mom and your family help you get started. What kind of started your shop?
Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't really into plants like growing up. I really wasn't. Like it was always around the house, you know. All my aunts and you know uncles had plants. They took care of them, and I was like, oh, okay, plants. And then the pandemic happened, like everyone else. And you know, it was a lonely time. So like plants made me very happy, like for other people. And so I started just buying plants, you know, one at a time, and then like redoing my room during the pandemic. There was nothing to do, and so eventually my mom was like, "What is she doing with her room? And why are there so many plants in there?" And then I think she got jealous. To be honest, like she was like, "Why are you into plants? Like you don't." You're gonna kill those. And then I was like, no, Mom. And she started buying plants. And then like Natalie, like she started getting into succulents a whole lot. Like she started getting the rare ones, you know, like there's so many, right?
Yeah, so many. Yes.
And then she started making things out of plants too. And then eventually she like asked me, "Hey, can you help me sell this?" And I was like, sure, why not? And then like I designed like her logo and stuff like that, and like created this online platform for her. And then I didn't realize that you had to put a lot of work into like e-commerce. You don't have like a physical location. So we did pop-ups. We started doing pop-ups in September or December of 2020. September of 2020 was when she like decided she wanted to sell stuff. And then so yeah, we started doing pop-ups, and then it was in March of 2021 when my uncle passed, and he was the one who like made me want to open the shop, because he was the one who took care of me and my sister and my grandpa when me and my sister were young. And like he was sorry, my dog is making noise. Hunter, can you sit, Hunter? Sit, bud. Can you sit? Okay. He just is so clingy. All right. So my uncle was the one that like pushed me to open the shop when he passed. He was a fighter, not physically, but like spiritually. He was disabled from the age of 18, and he wanted to live life regardless, like he wanted to help people, and, was just so happy to like live life. And like plants like to live life too, they want to thrive. They're very resilient no matter what environment you kind of put them in. Like they're gonna aim to thrive. So it's like that's how I kind of related my uncle's passing to plants, and like his passing also made me realize the spirit that I have within me, as well as my other family members. We're all fighters like plants are. So I wanted to share that with the community, and here is the shop.
Yeah. And I noticed that you'll do workshops and you'll do team building. What kinds of things do you do at the shop?
Yeah. My mom mainly teaches the workshops, and it's funny how she's progressed over time. Like she was so scared and nervous at first. And she's like, why are you doing this to me? and then now she's like, well, I taught a class of like, I think it was like 50 students at Cal. So yeah, she's progressed that much, and she's so comfortable. Like, wow. So I'm happy that I'm able to like give her or help her make these memories and experience these things through plants.
Yeah, very cool. And then Natalie, your shop's a little different. We talked about a second ago that you kind of pivoted to do the more rare plants. What made you want to do that?
Yeah, I felt like, since I starting my shop a little bit earlier, during pandemic, I felt like a lot of my customers outgrown me.
Oh, yeah.
They came in and they show me all these pictures that they have on the internet and say, hey, do you have this plant? Oh, I don't have that plant. What is that?
Yeah.
Also, and then I start to see a lot of customers have been asking about these type of plants. And that times, most of these rare plants you have to order online, right? But a lot of time people get scared.
Yeah.
Order online, they don't know what they're gonna get, right? So after that, I kind of take that as a note, and then try to find all these plants for my customer. And it's kind of like the more I find it, the fastest I sell, and I start slowly replacing a lot of my common plant to rare plant, because that's what my customer want. And most of my customer is the one that requests. So I start from there. And after that, I learn more about rare plant, and I get the sort. I actually travel back to Thailand. I'm from Thailand.
Wow.
So, and then I go make a connection, and I got a lot of supplier when I went back on a trip. So we're able to import a lot of a cool, exotic, rare plant at really quite reasonable price. But importing plant is not easy too. Like you have to have a license to import plant, and you need to know what to do. When you import plant in, it's not just say, hey, it came in and looked beautiful. Nope. It's not. You have to know how to acclimate it. You need to know how to take care of the root system. And if you want to sell a good product to your customer, you need to acclimate your plant before you sell them. So our pricing is have that into, add into it. So we make sure that we hold up our plan back at least a month before actually sell to our customer.
It's like a quarantine,
It's like quarantine, basically. And all of our rare, we put in a clear plastic pot for a reason, so that when customer actually purchase plan from us, they can actually check the root system.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And we're talking about plants that are hundreds, if not thousands of dollars sometimes, right?
We did, yeah. So like the most expensive plant that we sell right now, the one that we sold is about $3,900.
Oh, wow.
A lot of time though, I would say when people buying rare plant is because they've been collecting plant for quite some times and they already have the experience. Like if this customer will walk in and if she never buy from me before, or if the way that she talks and I can tell that she's not really know how to take care of plant yet, I would don't sell it to her. I was like, no, don't do it.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense because they're going to come back to you a week later and say, hey, why'd you sell me this defective plant?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And well, for our return policy, we don't do return exchange.
But
I pretty much make sure.
It's your reputation. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. So we kind of make sure that, hey, you know what you're buying. And here, let me show you the little system. The plan is good. This is how to take care of it,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think everyone likes a deal, right? And so, they'll buy a plant at Trader Joe's or at Home Depot, and then it'll end up dying and they think that they're not good at plants, or they think that,
What's the thing that I don't like? I feel like it's kind of discouraging. I feel bad or feels a little bit sad every time when people walk into our store and like have black thumbs.
Right.
A cute plant, I'm like, no. You just need to find the right plan and learn the right way of taking care of the plant.
Yeah. Right.
And, I'm not green thumb too. It took me a while. I queue a lot of plants.
Yeah. No one's born with it, right? It's just, you have to build knowledge and experience.
It is like anything,
Exactly. It's a love language.
Yeah. So both of you guys have pretty unique shops. I just from what I haven't visited in person. I got to make my way. I got to do a loop around the Bay. I'm in San Francisco, so I got to do a loop around the Bay and visit you guys. But Dom, when someone walks into your shop, what kind of vibe are you hoping they get off of your shop? I notice a lot of hanging plants, and it's just wall-to-wall plants. It feels a little bit like a jungle.
Yeah, most definitely. That's the vibe I'm going for. I want you to feel like you're kind of in the Philippines. Yeah, like a little jungle. My parents put up these like straw roofs because that's how like in the Philippines we call it a bahay kubo, which is a nipa hut. I definitely wanted to make you feel like you're kind of in the Philippines, but then also I want you to feel welcomed, like you're coming into essentially like someone's home. Like I have pictures all over the shop of my family because, like I feel like when people see someone who looks like them or like, like just a picture of someone's family, it's kind of like more of a chill, not intimidating vibe. I want them to feel like you can talk to me. Like if you have questions about the plants that you see, like I'm approachable and you can ask me anything.
Very cool. I forgot to ask you, what does pamana mean?
Pamana means inheritance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where my uncle was the reason why I named the shop that, because of his spirit, which I believe I inherited too.
Yeah. Nice. How about you, Natalie? When someone walks into your shop, what do you hope catches their eye, or what do you hope you're sending? What kind of message are you sending them?
I feel like I want our shop to be like, when you walk in, it's like you feel like kid in a candy shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I get to see all these plans in your wish list, that you want it, and you like see it, and you're like, oh my God, I want it. And some of the plan is because they harder to propagate, or they're slow growth. So, or they're really hard to find, like really, unique. So that's why it's more expensive. But I told them, hey, save your money. Right? Like when you were young, like you're like, oh, I want this toy.
Yeah.
Right? Work hard, save money. It doesn't mean that you have to buy everything. It's something that you can look forward to, something that can motivate you to work harder.
Yeah. Right.
And you can save money and buy that plant. It's a hobby. I told them to think of it as a hobby. Don't go crazy. Save some, and then if you learn how to propagate, we do have consignment program as well. So some people, they propagate their rare plant and they bring to our store, and we help them sell it.
Yeah, very cool.
So they can make a little money, so they can use that money to buy more plants.
Yeah. Now, Dom, do you have a lot of regular customers that you see more than once a week, and they just come in to say hi and look at what's new?
Yeah, like literally this one lady, she barely buys anything, but she just comes to say hi, it's totally okay,
That's cool. Yeah.
I always talk with another plant shop owner. I'm like, we partly are therapists and bartender.
Yeah, hear all their problems. Yeah.
Hear all their problem. And when they buy too many plants, we kind of like have to cut them off. Like, you buy too many this week,
Oh, man.
That's it. Save some for next week.
That's funny. Yeah.
You got to come back.
All right. Are you guys ready to talk a little plants?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to give some tips to people. Maybe there's some people that are just beginning and know nothing, but some people might be more advanced. So we'll do a variety of questions here, and you guys can take turns answering, or you can both answer. Up to you. All right. So what would you guys recommend to someone who swears they have a black thumb? Now, we talked about there's no such thing as a black thumb. There's just people who are less experienced.
There's two that I'm thinking about.
Okay.
The one that's kind of like standing up?
They're both standing up.
All right, Natalie, what would you recommend?
Snake plant.
Okay. Snake plant.
Expensive area. I think most of the time I'll be like, some people come in like, I have this hallway. There's no light. Nothing. I'm like, maybe fake plant, but I don't want to say that. But I would say maybe Sansevieria is okay. Snake plant. Just make sure you get the green one. So because if it's green, it's easier for it to gather the light for them to be able to photosynthesis, right?
Yeah.
So that would work. And then just don't overwater it. So the water maybe once every 10 days. Let it dry out first before you water it.
It's better to ignore it. Don't overlove it.
Love it too much. Just treat them like teenagers, Love them from the distance.
Set and forget. Yeah. Dom, what were you going to say?
I was going to say ZZ.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, that's right. CC too. Yeah, those two.
Yeah, those are definitely, you just like, I always tell people, just bottom water it. Like, just put it in the saucer, like once every, I swear, like 3-4 weeks. And it will be okay.
Yeah. I think you think one of the biggest problems for people is that they do too much, like they overwater or they put it in the really bright light.
There's two things, I feel like.
To overwater or underwater?
Yeah.
You know what happens usually is like they overwater one time and they kill that plant and they get the second plant and now they're too scared to water.
Yeah.
So I was like, you have to water your plant, it's gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean, they think that they do, but then like the water will go through the pot because the soil's so dry. That's why I like to say just give it a cup and let it do its thing, like a teenager.
Yeah. So that's a good tip. That's a good tip. Yeah. So folks out there, just take a saucer, or even a flat tray.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just fill it up and let it soak. Just let it soak as much as they want, or a few minutes, or what are you thinking?
You could do it for a whole day if you wanted. Just don't leave it in there for days.
Yeah. Okay, good tip. So actually that slides us into the next question, which was, what are your top tips for plants? So we got bottom watering. Right. What other tip would you give to people that are fairly new at this?
Don't put them outside.
Yeah.
Don't put those plants outside. I mean, it depends. But
I would say, especially plant that you got it from indoor nursery or in the shop, they've been acclimated for in a room.
Indoor, yeah.
indoor. If you just all of a sudden, I want it to grow fast and I want you to have like more light to stick them in the sun, they burn.
The UV, they're not used to that.
They will burn all the leaves and and they will they will die.
Yeah. I think one thing too with people that are just getting started is maybe take a look at where the plant is naturally found. So obviously, succulents are found in areas that are more dry, and then tropical plants. So just be aware, like that's something that people don't think about. They think they put a succulent right next to a tropical plant, and they wonder why one of them is doing well and one of them is struggling.
I saw a lot of pre-arranged plant, like palm with like succulent and
peacefully.
Jinx.
So when I see that, I'm like, ooh, it's like way to ruin people's confidence,
Yeah.
They're gonna be so sad,
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of like, just exactly what you say, just kind of mimic their environment, how they would like when they in their element.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can always take them into the shower with you for a little while too.
Actually, you can. Yes.
All right. Next question. So let's say, I think we talked about this a little bit too, but let's say you've already mastered, your philodendron, your spider plants, and maybe pothos. What would be the next level plant for someone to try who wants a little bit of a challenge, but not a $3,000 plant, but maybe a little bit of a challenge?
Maybe two different ones, right? Well, fern, maybe fern, but I was thinking about calathea.
Oh, okay. Right. The water-loving ones.
Yeah, calathea. I mean, if you want to be extra, like, challenging, alocasia.
Alocasia. It depends on the alocasia. There are some that I like, meaning they're easy.
Some we don't like that much.
Yeah. You got one right. You got one right behind you, right, Dom?
Right. That's the easy one.
That one is the easy one. Yeah. The Rico chills are the good. Within its own, so plant, they have different family.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And within the family of that variety have different type of difficulty.
Yeah.
You throw in the variegation into it, getting a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
So think of it as like games. You have different levels.
Yeah.
Different level. And then you try something easy first and then go for that. And that's why it's very helpful for you to shop at small local business.
Yeah.
Small shop like us, we can give you a recommendation. We taking care of our plant ourselves, and we have the knowledge because we work with them all day, every day.
Yeah.
So we can give you a recommendation, and then if you tell us, okay, I want some alocasia, I want to try, but I want to try something easy, then we would recommend you like Rico chills or something that we know that's hardy and you can do okay, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why when you come to the small business like us, we will be able to help you.
No, I love it. Yeah, I love going to small. I was telling Natalie earlier in our pre-chat that I love small shops where that's all you do. That's your life.
Yeah.
Literally.
Our specialty.
Yeah. So it's so fun. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give you a scenario. Actually, I was going to ask you, what do you think about moisture meters? Are you pro moisture meter or pro like just stick your finger in a plant and figure it out?
I feel like if it's over 10-inch pot, moisture meter kind of help you out. The reason why I'm saying that because when it big pot, over 10-inch pot. So my trick was when I want to know if the plant needs to be watered or not, I like to lip up the pot. And I usually recommend our customer to keep their plant in nursery pot, not to repot it into ceramic pot.
Right.
The reason why I say that is because it's easier for you to tell if it needs to be watered or not. And when you actually look at the nursery pot, you can see that the bottom of the pot, they have many drainage holes. When you have ceramic pot, you only have one.
One, yeah.
One.
Sometimes zero.
And inside of the ceramic pot is actually glaze too. So they glaze and then they hold more moisture.
Yeah.
And over time, if you notice, the soil becomes so compact. And when you water it, the water would just ooze out.
Goes
from
around
the top.
it, yeah.
Yeah, it just spill out. So that's why Dom said that bottom water would be best for those type. I agree. But if you want to do better with your plant, keep it in the nursery pot. And you can use the beautiful decorative pot outside.
Right.
And it's just use the nursery pot and just drop it in there. But when you water, take them out. Walk over to the sink or the shower and water it. Let it drain out. After you water, if you lift them up and it's still lightweight, go back for the second.
Yeah.
It should be heavy after you water.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can put it back into the pot. So that's my method. But everybody have different method. Do whatever that work for you that you can maintain.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why, I prefer doing that more.
Dom, you have any tips for how to learn how to water correctly?
I always tell them, but friggin' bottom water.
That's it. Yeah. You can't overwater. Yeah.
I mean, technically you can. If you, let's say you bottom water and then like you put it through the top as well, and like you put it in a space that doesn't get enough light, then that can.
Yeah. A lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of time people thought that overwater is because you water a lot. But that's not true. As long as you water and the water actually drain out, or the water do dry out fast, it's okay. It's not about how much you water it; it's how often you water it. Actually, you want to wait until the soil is actually at least 80-90% dry between watering. It just depends on the plant too.
Because those roots need to breathe. Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Root need oxygen.
Yeah.
Watering is recharging the soil. It's like how often you need to recharge it fully.
Mm-hmm.
That matters.
Okay, so I'm going to give you scenarios and help me pick a plant for this scenario. All right, so I'm in the kitchen, and these are actually real. This is my house, so we're in the kitchen.
Consultation over here.
Yeah, I'm getting. This is the whole point of this podcast. So I want to learn. All right, so I'm in the kitchen, and I'm facing east, so I get that morning light. But that's about it. After the morning, it's gone, and it's a pretty small footprint. So I need a small plant that likes a little morning direct light, but not much after that.
Do you want it to trail or do you want it to stand?
It doesn't have a lot of room. Yeah, not a ton of room. So no trailing here. Yeah, shortish.
Natalie!
Snake plant.
Snake plant. Yeah, you could do like a star snake plant. That way it grows like more out than up.
Yeah, like star one. Like which one was it? The owl eyes? Is that called owl's eye?
Honey owl.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
one of the star ones.
It's slow grow. They don't grow. They look like fake plant, but it's not fake.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so now I'm in the living room, and it's so fairly high ceilings. I have a corner about 5 feet away from the window, so not a ton of light, but it's facing west. So it gets kind of indirect bright light in that corner. So I want kind of a showstopper. I want something that does well kind of in that corner.
Monstera.
Yeah.
It can't be anything, to be honest. It's like perfect lighting, right? For indoor house plant. Bright indirect light is perfect. You can go to Dom shop and buy her Monstera back there.
Yeah.
This is mine.
Actually, you know what I have there is I have a big Alocasia Regal Shield.
Ooh, nice.
So
how's that going for you?
Yeah, really well. I can split it, right? Can I split that into more than one? It's almost too big.
Ooh, you ready for that?
I don't know. Is it hard?
The propagation?
Yeah.
No, not that hard. No, it'll be okay. Do you notice something about your Alocasia? When they open one leaf and one leaf always die?
Yeah. So, but it has a lot of leaves, though. It has over 20 leaves on it.
Do you have like one single plant in there or more than one plant?
I think it's one single. I think. I don't know. I'll send you a picture. But yeah, I mean, but the leaves are pretty old. The ones that die are pretty old. So
yeah, it's the old leaf. So usually Alocasia is that when the new leaf come out, the old leaf die.
Yeah.
The old leaf will give energy for the new leaf to open.
Yeah.
So usually I would recommend our customer to wait before you cut that old leaf. Wait until they're quite like really yellow, you know, because if you cut it too early, they might go after another leaf and then you have less of the leaf left.
No, it's doing pretty well. It'll flower and it does okay. But
But
those
that's the perfect lighting, though.
it likes it. Yeah, it's really happy. All right, let's see. So now I'm in the bathroom, facing north. So very very little direct, like no direct light at all. I have a little ledge in there. What can I grow on that ledge?
Pothos.
Lily, yeah, pothos.
Yeah.
Pothos, peace lily. The philodendron. I love hardleaf philodendron. Like
Yeah.
the Brazil one is my favorite. The one with the green and yellow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are very easy. Yes.
Yeah. I have a fern in there right now.
Oh, really?
Ferns are good too. Yeah.
Yeah, they like the humidity, I think.
So you are overwater.
I guess. Yeah, I don't
Like to water your plant.
I don't do well with succulents. Yeah, I overwater.
Yeah.
So I go with,
Because if you do good with fern, usually you quite proactive with your watering. That's good.
yeah.
See, and that's the thing. You have to pick the plant that actually suit your style.
That's true too. Yeah.
Like when you come into our store, we ask you all these questions.
That's good.
If you want to ask me one question, I will ask you back 5 questions.
Yeah, that's
because
good.
like a doctor, you're trying to diagnose like what is wrong, what do you need, and it's funny. It's like, what's your lifestyle?
Right.
You like to water a lot. You don't like to water.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys have a favorite book? It could be fiction, it could be nonfiction, or movie that has something with plants in it, or something that you read that inspired you?
Dom first.
I can't remember the last book I read.
I don't read book too. Okay. Well,
movies.
I don't have time, but you know what I do? I listen to podcasts.
Oh yeah. Okay.
When you're driving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you have to drive, like to general inventory. I love these podcasts. Actually, it's called Bloom and Grow Radio on podcast. I've been listening to them for almost 2 years when I first starting doing more starting sell like house plan. So I want to learn more, and I be able to explain to the customers a lot of things that I'm saying that I knew. I get it from them too, and I practice it too, and it's actually been working pretty well for me. So that is the one I love, Bloom and Grow Radio podcast. And if you want something funny on Instagram, I love the I don't know if you know, Dom, it's called Philodendron. There's one guy that he sing about plant care.
Oh.
He does?
You need to check him out. He's funny.
Okay.
And he would just like use some like music that popular, and he just make his own lyrics and make like it's fun. It's funny. I love like funny reels, and I love him. He's really funny. It's called like Phil, like Philodendron, but it's Phil, and his name is Leo. Philodendron.
Oh, I see. I just
you might see him around. Like he's pretty popular. He's he sing and make his own lyrics, and we can relatable to it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty inside. Yeah, that sounds like.
I believe he's in Bay Area too. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. But
he's in LA. I just saw it.
Oh, he's in LA. Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Do you ever read or watch the what's it called, Houseplant Journal with Daryl Chang? He's an engineer, and he does these time lapses where he'll show a new leaf coming out of a monstera or something. He's really good photographer, but
I might not remember the username.
Yeah,
I see it. I'm on Instagram too much.
Yeah. he wrote a book too. I like him because he's really nerdy. He's really into the nerd.
We need to make an audio book so we can listen.
Right?
To it.
Yeah, maybe.
What's it called?
Houseplant Journal by Daryl Chang.
Houseplant.
You've probably seen it. You probably flipped through it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have some crossover, your followers and his followers, so it probably recommends it to you. Probably.
Will do. I'll check it out.
Yeah. All right, so we usually end the show by asking our guests to think of an infatuasian. An infatuasian is anyone from the Asian community that has inspired you or has influenced you in some way. Could be someone you know, could be a stranger, living or deceased. So let's start with Natalie. Do you have an infatuasian?
All the plant shop owner in the Bay Area. All the Asian American, that starting this small business is tough. We all know. And it's funny, but I would say a big percentage of the small business plant shop owner is Asian. Is Asian owned.
Yeah.
Female Asian owned.
Especially Asian women.
It is like I would say if we wanna get together, more than 50% of all Asian female, which is cool.
That's very cool. Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, and I feel like that's what it is. It's like I know how hard it is. We know because we started the same, and yeah. I mean, if I want to pick a store, it would be plant therapy in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, you recommended it.
Chai. Yeah, I talked about Chai before. He was the first. He started his plant therapy before pandemic, like about a year or 2 years before. That when like there's not a lot of boutique plant shop. Out there. And I went to his store. I'm kind of like, that's kind of cool. That's a possibility. I knew more about him, and I was like, he started from like small shop, like how I am right now, and then he able to open like 2-3 locations.
Oh wow!
And yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And he started just by himself, like how I do. So it just that opened my eyes that there is a possibility of having a plant shop as a business. Because back then it's not.
Right.
There's not a lot. It's usually either flower shop or, the whole gardening center, but it's not like just specialty plant shop. So I would say like I do look up to their shop.
Yeah.
As their inspiration, but then I would say all the Asian, like business owner that's starting this small business. I mean, I want to clap for them because I know how hard it is, so that's just what it is.
No, I bought some plants from a young woman. She's a college kid out of her backyard. She had a little greenhouse and people out of their garages. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool little community.
It's just like people just starting, just doing, craft fair and all that. We just all start somewhere. We have the dreams that we want to do something, and we actually doing it. And it's is then you see that it could happen.
It's doable, right? and it really helps to see someone that looks like you.
Right.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, it's that's why representation matters. To see someone that looks like you say, "Hey, this is a possibility. I could do this."
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully out there's some young women looking at you too saying like, hey, they did it. Why can't I do it too? Dom, you have an Infatuasian?
I'm going to shout out my day one business owners. They've been with me since like the beginning, since I've opened. They were at my grand opening. They catered it. And they are called Baboy, which is a food catering company based in San Francisco. They specialize in like Filipino food with a twist, like crispy kare-kare or like longanisa lumpia, stuff like that. They are like, they're just hustlers. They do so much, and they're partners, so it's like it's just amazing. Like you can actually work with your partner.
There you go. Yeah, it's possible.
If I'm not stuck at my shop, I'll go party at Dom shop all the time.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
It looks like a party over there.
We try to have fun, but yeah, they've inspired me. They've been like very important and significant part of like the business. So I'm inspired by them, and I'm grateful for them also.
Nice. I had a college roommate, not a roommate, but she was over at our house all the time, and she was from the Philippines, and she'd always say, "Ay nako baboy." She always called us pigs.
Oh my God! Wait, you're not Filipino, Curtis?
No, I'm Chinese American, but she grew up in the Philippines, so yeah.
Okay, cool.
But very cool. So, do they have a truck, or they have a brick and mortar, or just catering?
they're just catering for now, but I'm sure they have other plans.
All right. Stay tuned. Hey, if they want to come on the podcast, let me know. We can get them on.
Yeah. I'll send you guys a message. Maybe you guys can chat.
Sure, of course. Yeah. All right. So if you guys want to go visit Dom or Natalie, you can visit Natalie in San Jose, 1989 Quimby Road in San Jose, California. And I believe both of you sell online a little bit, right? Like,
I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Well, I mean, I do on my Instagram. Like you can purchase it through Instagram DM and pick up.
Okay.
I don't choose my plan. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. So you can visit Natalie in San Jose, or you can visit Dom over at Pamana Plantas at 1615 B Solano Avenue in Berkeley, California. Just as a note, they're both closed Monday and Tuesday, and Natalie's closed Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Nice. Nice. It's good to be the boss. You can decide the hours.
Right.
And you can follow both of them on Instagram. Natalie is at plantsitter_California, and she posts at least once a week. You're hustling on Instagram, man. You're posting quite often.
I have to. It's very helpful to our business.
I can imagine.
Our location is quite up, not like Main Street or anything. It's on the side. So we don't have any foot traffic. So Instagram help us a lot.
Are people surprised when you're actually in the shop? They're like, I know you.
Yes, they came in, or sometimes when I go outside, I went to eat or anything like that. There's be some customer.
Wow, you're famous. You're famous.
And I was like so awkward. I was like,
yeah, because your persona on Instagram is different than who you really.
Yeah, because I always show my face, and then sometimes now when I'm outside, I'd be like, Natalie, you better be nice to everybody.
Yeah. And Dom's Instagram is at Pamana Plantas. And you also check your website because you have a calendar of events of different things that are going on. So, Natalie, we got to find out when Baboy's going to be there next. And we got to get some Filipino eats.
Yeah, can you do on Wednesday that I can be there? It's like no one.
I know, right? There usually was a drop. There was one before. But yeah, I mean, we'll figure something out.
If you're not in the Bay Area, you can go check them out on Instagram or their websites. And for us, you can always write to us 24 hours a day at infatuasianpodcast@gmail.com. You can always give us a follow at Instagram and Facebook at The Infatuasian Podcast. And all these details, all these Instagram handles and websites we'll put on our show notes. And so you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. But you know that because you're listening to us right now. So, Dom and Natalie, thank you so much for coming on. It's been really fun talking plants.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Thank you so much, Curtis.
Yeah, of course. One of these days, I'm going to show up at the shop, so don't be surprised if I come by.
Yes, I'll get plan ready for you, the most expensive plan.
No. You get the ones that are hard to kill that love water. That's my...
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. So everybody out there, go visit these shops. If not, at least go see them on Instagram. And so on behalf of Natalie, Dom, and myself, we hope that you're all happy, healthy, and safe out there. Until we talk to you again, thanks for listening. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, Curtis.